All right, welcome back. Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. He came, he fought, and she won. Nice woman. That's the spirit of resilience. Now we are not dealing with whether she lied or she didn't lie. You know, what she's first of all fighting is an injustice where she was removed from the house, you know, and the court said, no, you don't have the right to do that. But some people have faulted the judge that he would have just restored her back, not directing
the Senate
to restore her back. Because really, it's not that they are going to swear her back in. Do you understand? Illegally, her position was vacant.
Yeah.
Just go and take back your position. That's what
she should have just gone back.
She should have just gone back. But now directing the Senate to restore her back, reinstate her. But
well,
also,
the judge could also have reason. After all, the judgment was based on the Senate Privileges Act. Okay. So there might be some reason in what she has done.
Maybe it's as a result of the fact that they said that she should apologize. You know, before even when the 6 months has expired, he should apologize, do this one, do that one. Maybe that's why.
Yeah. So the judge must have reasons, yes, for that.
Yeah. But the Senate in its own. I heard their spokesman. Where is the spokesman or someone?
I know there is the Senate Committee Chairman for Media and Public Affairs, Senator Yemi Adaramodu.
Yeah, he said that she should. Well, that when she comes back, that first of all she has to abide by what the court says, and they also look at it if they will appeal the case.
Yeah, because that's why he has clearly said they are waiting for the CTC. Until they receive the CTC of the case, they are unlikely to actually know the next step to take. You know, this is becoming one. He also gave a reason that the report they got from their counsel where the judgments were not completely read out. You know, once you do not read all the judgments out, you know, people will want to say, okay, let's have the CTC to know all that is contained. That's the position they have taken. They could have as well say, okay, yes, our counsel confirmed to us that we've been asked to reinstate her. Then you are hereby reinstated. But one assurance he gave is that they will abide by the Constitution. So maybe this also happened during the what is it called, Fubara's case, where Fubara was waiting for CTC.
Yeah.
You know,
before he reaches out.
But there's nothing to worry. The CTC can never be. It can't be longer than.
It can't be too far.
Vision 2010. No, when we were young, they were saying Vision 2010.
It looked far.
It looked far like it was never going to come. So they will eventually. This week will not run out without them receiving the CTC. You know, let's hope they receive it today and probably get her reinstated tomorrow. And like you said, the gap of the judge not ordering her to resume immediately can, you know, the judges look at cases from all angles.
From perspective
and
that
also believing that this could be appealed. But I do not think the Senate has any interest to appeal a case of reinstating a fellow senator. I don't think there's any interest.
There is no cause for corruption.
I don't think there's any interest they have there.
Yeah. Now, she also made a statement and said that I'm resuming on Tuesday. Yes. How feasible is that?
Yeah, my own. This is a good reference to a bad rubbish they've thrown at us for 4 months. How can you suspend somebody since March 6th, denying her people representation for 4 months? And the judge was Justice Binta Yako. I hate her. She was expressing saying it's excessive. It is unconstitutional based on their rule book. And they should abide by their own written constitution. So, for me, it is. I wish I'm free. I would have gathered my own crowd. We just follow her to Senate. I'll be singing. Because she has shown that you can go to a court and get justice. We should always settle for less. We should always let them bully us and go for political settlement. Let's sometimes take these things to court. Let the court interpret it. They are there to interpret the constitution, the laws. And we're all glad that he came out in her favor because this will stop them from repeating. But a president, you don't suspend somebody for more than 6 months. When your rule says you can do 2 weeks, 10 working days.
Okay, for time is lost in this respect. Service to her people, service to her country. I mean, as a result of this reckless as far as I'm concerned, I may be wrong, reckless abuse of power.
Yeah.
How do we check this reckless abuse of power?
Yeah, you know, I've always said something that our public officers are overprotected. Okay, let me just give you an example. Let's just say a police officer wrongly abused, his or her power, and you go to court, for example. The court will now award, let's say civil litigation court, that's all you can do against the police as authority. Court now award damage against the officer, which is not against the IGP and against the Nigeria police. I think we should have a law where that officer will suffer in payment of that. Because if you say, you award charges against the police, a kind of civil, any amount, for damages, or say, you abuse this person, pay the person sum of 500 million against Nigerian police, it's still the Nigerian people's money that they will use. No, the officer that is involved in that act need to sacrifice fraction of his pay, or he should have fight his pension in some form. That is the only way they are personally careful in abusing the power. If I abuse the power, I'm not the one that will bear the brunt. If they find us guilty in the civil suit, I'm not the one. Who is police? Tomorrow they remove Abatokun. There are people have been saying they should be removed. They put a new one. The new one will come and start paying you. Is that where to start from? Or you go and close the police office and seal it up like Wike is sealing the FRS and say you can't function because you are owing me? You can't do that. I think you should have a way of affecting the officers, just like the way when you do litigation to private companies, and at some point you find out that the directors did not act properly, you have the directors suffer in some form, So if we do that, why are we not doing it in the public domain, which is actually where our compass should be more directed at? Because they are the ones that have the powers that belong to everybody and misusing it.
Peter, now
so in this case,
yes,
I think just reinstating her is not sufficient. Yes. The senators and everybody that was involved should be punished. Yes, should have a way of serving a kind of punishment. This being let's classify it as a civil suit. They should have a way of suffering from their actions.
Yeah.
So they be deterrent.
Now, most of the time, this particular 10th Senate is being called not just only Robert Tamb, but a conquered Senate. Not only are they conquered, most of them that won in one particular party, political party, are cross-carpeting in the House. I mean, the last time we heard of this kind of cross-carpet was in 1963 or thereabout. What suddenly just happened? And most of the very unpopular, instead of them most of the time making laws for the nation, they are into endorsing the president and all that. And look at this Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan's case. They made mess of everything.
I find it wasn't far from the truth when they said there is state capture, that this presidency have captured every institution. And it was quite unfortunate that a Senate that should be independent, that should check the presidency, has been captured as well. It is mind-blowing how we have descended that low. This is a Senate that ratify impeachment of a governor by a voice vote. This is a Senate that cannot put up a fight. They cannot even challenge anything that comes from the presidency, the rubber stamp. We've not had any engagement. I remember Saraki's Senate. There is engagement, that's back and forth. You don't bring a bill that it flies. We should know what Nigerians are benefiting from it. But once it comes from the presidency, they rubber stamped it. Boom. And again, in line with what he said, Natasha was fined 5 million for labor, for contempt of court. Then, why did the court not charge the Senate for breaching her rights? Her rights were breached. Until, as I said, until people are held liable, until people are being asked to pay for their mistakes, these things will continue. Now, we've moved on. Nobody wants to talk about it. We should discuss it. They were wrong. So what is the...
what are they suffering?
Yes, what is
what is their punishment?
For being wrong.
What is their punishment?
So, Okafor, in closing, most of the time, we look at the legislature as as they are not that important. And most especially also, the government in power, in every democracy, the government in power will always want the legislators to be on their side. That one is politics. But also...
And it's a legitimate desire.
It's a legitimate desire, exactly. But we also have what they call bipartisan votes, where both parties come to and say, no, this is not good. We're not going to do this. But in this, our Senate system, we don't see that.
I think that's actually only what you have. Rather say we don't see that. That's actually all you have is bipartisan. All of them, all multi-partisan actually is what you have. Agreeing in all things.
Yes. Okay.
That's actually all you have. Rolling.
All you have.
Agreeing.
We don't have dissent.
We don't have dissent. We don't have dissent. Agreeing in all things. Yes, I agree. Even in Buhari's first tenure, which is Senator Saraki's presidency. One of the things Buhari said that limited his performance was that the Senate were always disagreeing with him. That said, the idea is not about disagreement. The idea is the reason. What is right? Reason for your disagreement. If your disagreement is simply to negotiate your constituency project or to negotiate your own political appointment, I mean, the people are still losing. They don't understand the importance of the legislature. It's like a supervisor. They are the one that appropriate. You can't spend a naira that is not appropriated. So actually, we should be holding legislature more responsible, even than the executive. But unfortunately, for their desire to be their pocket to be greased, for their desire to help them employ their brother, for the desire of some other things, they throw their real function into the wind and embrace the bipartisanship we are talking about more than is required.
These days, most senators...
Some is out of fear. Like example, Ningi. When Ningi spoke against this budget padding, instead of looking to it, what did they do? They suspended Ningi. So they forced everybody to conform to what they're doing.
And now Ningi is quiet.
What's the national issue?
I think the nomenclature they use also confuses the people. Constituency projects are legitimate almost all over the world.
Very legitimate.
Yeah. So,
but not executed by.
Yeah, exactly. So they have to. That is why Nigerians have to be able to separate the wheat from the chaff. The party they talk about, they should be able to separate it from constituency projects. Constituency projects are legitimate projects across the globe where you practice democracy in some form. They do it. That's why go to any legislator we post by the project or by programs, not only physical project. Programs is able to attract.
And how he has also defended the right of the people.
Yes, and how he has defended the right of the people and order. There are also programs. Having your bills passed, you also lobby for it in some form. This is not to be removed. But the principal thing is that the reason for doing that is it for the benefit of the people or for your own benefit. Once the answer is for your own benefit, that is abuse of power and abuse of the
in most democracies, what we normally see is that you can have access to your legislature anytime, any day, or let's say timed, days fixed. You say you either write a letter or something. In this sort, we don't see that much. Is it that they don't open up to the people, or the people are too distant from? There's a disconnection somewhere between the people and their representatives.
No, we'll see them enough. You'll see them during election. They come to your house. They'll bake a baby. They'll cook for you. They do all those things prior to election. So they give you your time. So they feel like this is my time. I'll give you enough time. So let me do my business. That is the kind of politics we practice here. Because I remember sometime I wanted to meet the rep man representing my place. I won't call the place. I spoke to some of my friends. They discouraged me, guy. You waste your time. You go, you queue, you won't have access. But that is how it should not be. But I can tell you, come election period, 3 months to election, I will gladly see him. He called away, he will tell you to come. But they need your vote. They need you to campaign for them. They need you to work for them. They need your input. But once that is done, it's business as usual. Well, and again, the way we play politics in this country needs to be changed. And politics here is the cash base. It's like an investment.
It's all right.
When they do an investment, they expect return on it.
Yes, we'll talk about that someday. I want to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Do you think the way this legislators have been docile, do you think a lot of them are going to lose election in the next election?
Well, it depends on INEC.
Wow.
Depends on
Not
INEC.
on the people?
No. Yeah, on the people, in a way, if they start fighting now and able to reform the INEC. So it starts from the people. But if you don't change the INEC of now, they are still going to do wholesale election. And when there is a wholesale election, the people won't matter. You know, you are not going to always have the court work as it worked for Natasha in this case.
Yes. Now, do you think that...
Same question.
The same question, yeah.
I've not heard them say, on your mandate we shall stand. If they believe that people's vote counts, most of them won't defect it, most of them won't join. If like, once you're...
So are we going to have an effect of this in 2027? That a lot of them are going to...
If we get our electoral reform, it
Right.
won't. But if you don't get it,
Okay.
they're there.
All right. Our electoral reforms getting right, and we can see a change in some...
Hopefully, we don't
form.
get people that will suspend Natasha in our next assembly.
All right. Thank you.